Jen, thanks very much for coming online. Shame we can't do this face to face, but just for the people that will be watching this, if you just give a quick intro to you and your background and your firm, that would be really handy.
Yeah, hi. I'm Jennifer Dougal, and I'm head of operations at Jefferies Solicitors. We're a personal injury firm, just do personal injury and some catastrophic work and a bit of clinical negligence as well. I've been in the industry for 10 years, been doing operations for about 6 or 7 of those now.
Great. I've known Jefferies for a while, and obviously technology is an important point. What case management system do you use there?
We're on Proclaim.
And would you say that's quite an important piece of IT equipment within the business?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pivotal. It's where everything's stored, from new case handling to accounts to case management. So it's all joined up in one system. So yeah, it's completely integral to the business.
Great. And inCase as a platform now has been in Jefferies and part of the structure now for a couple of years now, I think. But certainly there's been some really big changes and benefits have really started to flow in the last 12 months. Can you share some of those benefits? What have you noticed?
Yeah, I think one of the benefits I've seen really is, one of the benefits of inCase anyway, is that it makes the whole legal process a lot more accessible to clients and a lot more transparent. Feel a lot more involved in their case, so you don't get as many calls for updates. So we've noticed that the fee earners are a little bit happier about that, because they're not just having to provide updates via the telephone when they can just be getting on with progressing the cases. We also find that it keeps the client more engaged in the process, because previously we had clients who would move address, they wouldn't tell us, they might change their telephone number, but with the app they seem to be a lot more engaged with it. And it's much better than just using email, because they like that push notification, they like that instant notification that something's happened on their case and that they can go and check it online and see if there's any movement. So I think that mainly from the client side, we've seen benefits. We've also obviously seen operational benefits in terms of the cases moving quicker. People are sending the sign up. So I've compared the rate of return on sign up packs and client initial engagement this morning. And, people, I think it was 20% more likely to be sending the packs back via inCase than they are if you just send the pack out via post. So retention of that initial customer is obviously a huge benefit as well. And then obviously it brings our turnaround times down as well. So those are sort of the main benefits that we've seen at the moment.
So there's a couple of groups of people that are benefiting from inCase. In your role as operations, what do you think is in terms of your remit, the biggest benefit for inCase?
There's quite a few, like I said before, like keeping more clients engaged, so retention of clients, speeding up the case life cycle is certainly something that's very important. Cost savings as well is very important, and also from a marketing perspective, it's important as well, because we've seen some better reviews coming through, better Google star reviews coming through as a result, and those customers are predominantly using the app. So as a result, I think our Google ratings just gone up to 4, which we're quite pleased about, because we have the app. So that was a benefit that I didn't really foresee, but definitely when I'm looking at all the different areas of the business, it is touching on quite a few areas in the business, and not just the customer and the fee earners. It is having a knock-on effect in a positive way.
That's really good to hear. Obviously, we've been through a really challenging 2020. And of course, the buzzword is quarantine, lockdown in particular. How has inCase helped Jefferies during lockdown?
Well, we have certainly been able to use it to get in touch with more of our clients. Like I said before, some clients have moved. So during lockdown, some of our clients moved in with relatives. So they moved from their address. So it was difficult to get in contact with them via post. Also, I think fee earners were a little bit more difficult to contact. Everybody went to working from home. So we had to furlough our receptionist at one point. So we didn't have anybody answering necessarily the calls and directing them to the right place. So it was a little bit chaotic. So I think inCase in the midst of it was helping, to keep the clients sort of focused on, here's where your case is up to. Also help the fee earners as well to communicate with the clients and make sure that they could keep in touch with them no matter where the clients had gone. We were also able to put a lot more digital signatures onto our forms of authority, which meant that people were getting back to us much quicker than they were previously. So I think when I looked at it before, I think the turnaround time was 10 days quicker on those cases where you had forms of authority back for every form of authority that we sent
10
out.
10 days, right?
Yeah, versus post, because if you think the post has got to send there, we send everything by second class. So it takes sort of 3 or 4 days to get there, and then the client's got to review the document, and then they've got to send it back, and then our self-addressed envelopes are second class prepaid as well. So if you take that time away, if clients are sending them back the next day or the day, it came out at 10 days per form of authority. So we were able to add those to quite a number of documents and offer those to clients. A lot of people at the beginning of the lockdown as well, which it might seem silly now, but at the beginning of the lockdown, people were very, very cautious about even handling mail. They didn't want to handle their posts in case they contracted the COVID from the envelopes, which I can understand. At the time I was probably similar, but so having something to say, you don't have to touch it, nobody has to come and see you, it's it's a completely digital solution, made a lot of people more comfortable with receiving the documents from us. So
yeah, so I mean that's really interesting. So if clients are getting information back to you, I guess 10 days faster, and that's just on one form of authority. I mean, as a PI lawyer myself, you're probably sending a minimum of 3, if not maybe 4 authority during the life of a really straightforward matter. So you could be shaving off comfortably a month, if not almost 2, in terms of the life cycle of a case.
And that's just forms of authority. When obviously we're not on the new app yet, but when we migrate over to the newer version, we've got questionnaires and we're able to send those out. They're not 10 days of every questionnaire that we have to send out to the client as well, so which is fantastic. So we're really, really looking forward to getting that built in and being able to expand that out to clinical negligence clients if they want it as well, which we don't currently have at the moment. So yeah, there are certainly a lot of time saving benefits and efficiency benefits to the app.
You touched on one that you weren't expecting, one benefit that you didn't anticipate, which was the positive online reviews, the impact it was happening, which obviously is great, with Google and SEO, we've come out, I'm a big admirer of Google reviews, and we certainly do that as well. Are there any other benefits that weren't necessarily foreseen before, and then you're now starting to see them come through?
I think probably it's more of a softer benefit, but it was staff morale seems to be better. They like to engage with the app. Wow. So, it's a lot. If you lose clients halfway through a case, or you can't get hold of them and you're about to settle it, or it's reached a pivotal point in the case and you can't get hold of your client, or they're just not engaging with you whatsoever, that can be very, as a PI lawyer myself, that can be very demotivating if you've got quite a few clients like that. But using the app and being able to get clients to get things back to them quicker, they can move cases quicker so they can settle them, or